All right, here's the plot twist and the update on the AMG GT. So we brought it to the dealership. Everything looks all right. But before we get to that, you guys are awesome. And I want to thank you for sending over the photos and videos of the car at the track. I got at least 3 different vantage points. One flyby of the car in the straight. So the customer, even after we caught him using the car on the track, said, no, it was just parade laps. Well, this isn't a parade lap. So yeah, obviously hot lapping sessions. So flying by on the straightaway. Then another guy had an in-car and he's driving by and he's like, oh, check out at 120. And this car is off in the grass. And there's a pickup truck on track waiting to drag it back onto the track. So clearly the parade laps is not what was taking place. It was obviously a hot lapping session. It was an open track day, not where the car belongs. But we brought it to the dealership, and I'll get to the plot twist in a minute because it gets pretty juicy. But brought it to the dealership, everything pretty much checked out. Obviously the tires, I just put them on a week ago, so they were new. Now they're no longer new, and just because of the heat cycles on them and everything, I'll flush them out for the next customer and put new tires on this car, and the customer is going to be responsible for that. But the dealership is doing an oil change, topping off the fluids because he said the fluids looked okay. Like, I get it, this car should be able to handle a track event. It did so, but we're going to change over the fluids because I want to make sure that this car is good and ready to go to the next customer, and my hands are clean, that the warranty is still in effect, and that the car is in good mechanical order. I don't want somebody claiming that the brake fluid boiled or anything like that because of this guy's use. Now, here's where we get to the plot twist. Oh, and the other thing, I had an estimate at the dealership for new floor mats. They only sell them in a pair because the driver's side floor mat didn't come back with the car. The guy's supposed to be mailing that back, but if he doesn't, I'll have to buy new floor mats. But why is the driver's side floor mat not in there? Well, if you've been to a racetrack, you take it out so it doesn't slip up under the pedals. Makes perfect sense. He just forgot to put it back in. Now we're getting to the real juicy part. So I hold the customer responsible, obviously, because he rented the car and he took it on the track, even though he's initialing and acknowledging that the car is not permitted, nor is he taking it on the track. And that's even like a parade lap. Any track use, not permitted, not covered by the insurance. Well, it turns out that the other driver on the account works for a private, or runs a private jet company. And that guy didn't show up. He paid for the rental, et cetera, et cetera. And it turns out when you go to this guy's website, he's offering up some sort of package with a Gotham Dream Cars rental car to go to a racetrack, which I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I went and started going back through my emails. I'm like, where has this ever been misconstrued that we struck a deal with any company to allow for track use on a car, especially a package that they're selling? And it turns out there's nothing in my email. There's nothing through any of the employees that I spoke to that was ever referenced. And this guy has the audacity of actually using my brand name as the company supplying the cars. So that's pretty juicy, right? You're like, oh wow, why would he do that? It's obviously not permitted. It's not something that we allow. And he knew that, which is why he told the customer not to tell us it was going to the track. There was no transparency, and this car was booked through a third-party company. It went through a company in Florida that brokered the rental to us and then gave it to the guy who misrepresented that he was just taking it for a drive upstate and not doing the private jet track package through this company. And now this stops now. Obviously, this will serve as the cease and desist to remove my company name off the website, but that if any of my cars are ever rented for that purpose and it goes near that track, that I'm going to find out about it real quick because I've now got the GPS roped in. I had a very helpful fan that sent me a link to essentially every closed piece of tarmac across the country that is used as a racetrack, so they're all getting uploaded in my system, so I'm now well aware of all of them. But I did not see that one coming. I did not see the plot twist there where there's a company actually selling these packages using my cars. And then they know we don't do this, so they go through another company to rent the car from us, and now I'm commissioning another company. It's a big cluster. So this was a big headache. We're not going to let it happen again. This one slipped past me because that track wasn't on my radar. But I'm telling you, this was a shock to the system. I didn't expect it. Luckily, the car came back. Sort of no harm, no foul. The customer's got to pay for the tires. He can take the old ones if he wants them. And he's paying for the fluids to be flushed. And I'll charge him for the loss of use for the time I couldn't rent the car because I had to bring it to the dealership to get inspected. And that's it. I'm not charging him a random number. I'm not picking $5,000 as an abuse fee. There's companies that would do that, but I'm just putting the cost over to him that my business suffered from not being able to rent the car and then to make the car right so it's ready to go and serviced for the next customer. There's your update. Did not see that one coming, and I bet you didn't either. I didn't think there was another company out there that had the balls to actually, if you're going to advertise something as like a track package, you don't use my company name. You just say a track package will provide an exotic car. You don't use another company's name, especially when they don't permit it and you have no partnership agreement or no agreement or permission to do so. So I don't expect that to be on their website for very much longer. But there it is. I didn't see that coming, but all is good in the world. I'm happy we escaped this without the car getting wrecked. It did go off track, but there was no visible damage underneath. The only other visible damage, and it's something that I can't believe it slipped my mind, the rear wheel is cracked, and that's got to be, the dealership wants $2,000 for a wheel. I'm just going to get a used wheel and put it on the car, and he'll be paying for the wheel as well. So there you go. There's your update. Thank you for watching. See you next time. For those of you not familiar with my other company, I started a company called Adventure Drives, which combines driving and bucket list travel. It's a lot of fun. Our next trip, we're off to Europe in July. If you're interested, prices can be done per person. Don't worry if you don't have somebody to go with you. We can match you up with somebody. You can check the link in the description for adventuredrives.com and sign up today.